You have probably heard the famous old fable about a fox and a bunch of grapes, where the fox simply can't reach his snack, so he walks away and grumbles to himself. Those grapes are sour anyway. Well, let's dust off that classic tale and give it a brand new spin. Once upon a time, in a bright sun-dappled forest, lived a fox named Felix. Felix was a lazy fox with a magnificent fluffy tail and a tummy that was almost always rumbling for a snack. One sunny afternoon, while prowling the forest for a tasty morsel, Felix spotted Pip the squirrel. Pip was pushing with all her might against a heavy rock, completely unaware of the hungry fox sneaking up on her. Felix crept closer and closer on his padded paws, but just as he was about to pounce, Pip zipped up the nearest tree in a flash. Disappointed, Felix simply shrugged and trotted away. Just a little further down the path, Felix spotted something wonderful. High up in the air, dangling from a thick green vine, hung a giant bunch of grapes. They were the biggest, shiniest, most delicious-looking grapes in the entire forest. He nibbled on a few fallen ones, and they were definitely sweeter than nectar. Felix licked his lips. He took a few steps back, wiggled his bottom, and took a mighty leap. He flew through the air and missed completely, landing nose first in the dirt. He tried again, bouncing up and down like a furry pogo stick, but the tempting bunch remained stubbornly in its place. "Surely these grapes are sour," he muttered. Exhausted, he gave up and marched away. Wait just a minute! Felix had just tasted the grapes, and he knew for a fact they were delicious. Let's do this again. Felix thought hard. He remembered something that gave him a brilliant idea. Felix trotted back. Pip was still pushing and shoving the rock with all her might, but it wouldn't budge an inch. Felix walked over, hoping to ask for a favor. But the moment Pip saw the fox return, she gasped and scrambled right back up her tree. Felix wanted to show her he was a friendly fox now. He stepped up to the stone, braced his strong paws against it, and gave a mighty shove. With a loud grumble crunch, the stone rolled away, revealing Pip's lucky acorn. So this is why Pip was trying so hard to move the stone. She scurried down and gave her precious acorn a big hug. Felix then explained his plan about the delicious purple grapes, and Pip eagerly agreed to help. Now they were officially partners on an adventurous grape heist. Felix led Pip to the giant bunch of purple grapes. Pip quickly scurried up the trunk and carefully walked all the way out onto the branch where the grapevine was tied. Down below, Felix got ready. He stood on his hind legs and held his front paws out wide like a furry baseball catcher. But just as Pip leaned down to chew the vine, her little foot slipped. Whoosh! She tumbled through the air and landed, boing, right on top of Felix's head, sending them both crashing comically to the ground. Pip peeked over his fuzzy ears, and they both shared a silly giggle. Take two! Pip quickly scurried right back up the tree and started gnawing again. Chew, chew, chew. Snap! Finally, the vine broke. The heavy bunch of grapes shot down like an asteroid. Felix dove forward, stretched out his paws, and oof! He made a majestic catch. Pip scurried down, and the two friends sat side by side in the sunshine, munching on the most delicious, juicy grapes they had ever tasted. And as Felix chewed a particularly sweet one, he smiled a special, happy smile. He realized that sour grapes are just a myth, and a little kindness and a good friend can put the sweetest rewards right in your paws. This story was brought to life using the Mosaic app. Simply download the Mosaic app today to create your own fun adventures for free.
Today, let's join Samy and Chamy on a colorful adventure. Meet Samy. Samy loves two things: painting big, bright, beautiful pictures and playing in her garden. But there is one thing Samy does not love: veggies. Yuck. She would always find one excuse or another to escape them. Her mom always says,
Samy, veggies are the magical secret to being healthy and strong.
Not too far away in the garden lived a little chameleon named Chamy. Now, chameleons are famous for changing colors, but poor little Chamy couldn't. He was gray, always gray. When the other chameleons changed color to hide, that is, they camouflaged, Chamy stuck out like a sore thumb. That's why he lost every hide-and-seek game they played, and it made him feel very, very sad. One sunny afternoon, Samy was in her garden painting when she spotted a tiny, sad, gray blob sitting on a pumpkin. Samy approached and asked,
Hello there. What's your name and why are you so gray?
Chamy gave a little sigh and told Samy about his big problem. Samy smiled reassuringly and said,
Don't you worry, Chamy. I am an expert at colors. I promise we will find a way to help you blend in.
Samy rushed to her art room and brought out her big, squishy finger paints. She dipped her fingers in the paint and started coloring Chamy's skin. He looked like a little walking candy cane. Chamy was excited and did a happy little dance. But suddenly, pitter, patter, splash. The water from the sprinklers washed all the beautiful paint right off. Swish! Poor Chamy was gray, all over again. Not the one to give up easily, Samy ran into the house and grabbed a special crystal called a prism. She held the crystal up to the bright golden sun. Suddenly, a beautiful rainbow spilled out of the crystal. Samy wiggled the prism until the bright stripes of red, orange, yellow, and blue fell right onto Chamy. It looked like he was taking a rainbow bath. He once again did a happy little wiggle. But then, a big, fluffy cloud floated in front of the sun. Whoosh! The rainbow vanished. And just like that, Chamy was back to being a plain, dusty gray. Just then, Samy's mom walked into the garden carrying a big wooden bowl and said, Samy, I've brought you a snack to eat. I'll be back in 5 minutes to check if the bowl is empty. Samy whispered to Chamy, I hate veggies. She looked at Chamy's big, hungry eyes. Wait, Chamy, can you help me finish these quickly? Zap! Out shot his long, sticky tongue. It wrapped right around a crunchy orange carrot. Zap! He grabbed a slice of red pepper. Zap, zap. Down went the green broccoli.
Wow, Chamy, you're a veggie-eating machine. This can be our little secret.
Chamy's little tummy gave a funny rumble. Pop! A bright orange spot appeared on his back. Whiz! Soon, his entire body was covered with colorful polka dots. He climbed on a pumpkin and voila! He turned completely orange. He climbed up onto a big green leaf and whoosh! He turned completely green. The veggies had done the trick.
My mom was right. Veggies really are magic.
If veggies gave Chamy super camouflage powers, Samy wondered what they could do for her. Maybe they would give her super painting powers. From that day on, snack time was their favorite time of the day, and they together snacked on veggies happily thereafter. For more such amazing story videos, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. And to generate your own amazing stories for free, download the Mosaic app. Hare and Tortoise race again. In the heart of the whispering woods, the morning sun always found Dash the hare mid-sprint. Whoosh! He was a blur of gray fur, his bright red sweatband tucked neatly behind his ears. Nearby, Titus the tortoise was doing what he did best, absolutely nothing. He was floating lazily on his back and sipping sweet coconut juice. As Dash stopped by the pond, Titus called out, "Hey, Dash, come on in. The water is perfectly chilly. Oh, wait, I forgot. You're terrified of getting your little paws wet." Titus laughed. Dash was tired of the teasing. I might not like swimming, Titus, but I can outrun you any day. I challenge you to a race. Titus said mockingly. A race? My great-great-grandfather already defeated a hare in the race. Winning is in my DNA. Dash didn't back down. Then prove it. It's time for a rerun. Titus thought for a while, and with a sneaky spark in his eyes, he said, Fine, but we do it my way, a 3-race challenge. 3 races, 3 trails, the thorny patch, the gooey swamp, and the lazy pond. The first to win 2 races would be the champion. Dash accepted the challenge. Titus went back to sip his juice, sure he had already won. But Dash went to work. He spent days carefully studying every single bush, branch, pebble, and ripple on all 3 trails. Dash knew why Titus chose these specific trails. On each trail, the tortoise had a natural advantage over the hare. The day of the first race arrived. Ready, set, go! Titus turned into a living bowling ball and rolled right through the thorns without a single scratch. In preparation for this part, Dash had taken Manny the mole's help. Manny had shown him how to dig like a machine. His paws moved like lightning, carving a tunnel right under the thorns. Dash popped out on the far side, but he was just a moment too late. Titus was already at the finish line. Titus had won the first race. Then they reached the second trail, the gooey swamp. As the whistle blew, Titus simply slid across the mud like a slow-motion surfer. He was steady and stable.
Dash remembered how Gusto the gibbon had taught him the swing and fling trick, to jump from vine to vine.
Dash leaped. He swung through the air, leaping from branch to branch, totally skipping the mud below. Dash sailed over Titus and crossed the finish line in style. The score was tied. Everything came down to the final race, the lazy pond. Give up now, Dash. You'll never beat me on this one, he called out. Titus slipped into the water, floating easily on his back.
Dash remembered what Ollie the otter had taught him about swimming. Keep your chin high and paddle fast.
Dash plunged in. Splash! He lifted his chin toward the sky and began the high chin glide. Left, right, he was doing it. He was swimming. Titus, seeing the hare pass him, began to panic. He started splashing wildly. He lost his balance and... Pop! Titus slipped right out of his shell and began to sink. Dash heard the desperate splashing. He didn't think twice. He turned around, paddled fiercely, and grabbed the drowning little tortoise and his drifting empty shell. Slowly and carefully, Dash towed Titus all the way to the bank.
Titus, back in his shell and coughing up water, looked up at Dash. I have always been mean to you. Why did you come back for me? Titus said, feeling very guilty. If I had not saved you, how would you have congratulated me on winning the challenge? This brought a smile on Titus's face, and he congratulated Dash by shaking his hand. The rivalry of the great-great-grandfathers was finally over. Now, on warm afternoons, they often spent time together happily boating in the lazy pond. For more such amazing story videos, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. And to generate your own amazing stories for free, download the Mosaic app.